Shalom everyone. Hello. In today's video, I will be showing you guys how to file your standard W-2 tax return for free 99 using TurboTax. It's really simple just to do this on your own, and I'm going to show you how to get started. Now, keep in mind though, the free filing option is only available to those who make less than $73,000 a year. So if your AGI or adjusted gross income was less than $73,000 last year, you're in the right spot. As a matter of fact, TurboTax is not the only platform that offers the free filing option. The IRS provides a number of tax preparation companies that will allow you to file your online tax return at no cost to you if you have a standard W-2. And as a matter of fact, let's just go over to the IRS site. Here I just typed into Google IRS free tax filing. Let's see what Google produces. Let's see. Browse free file, do your federal taxes free. Okay. All right. Let's just go here. And here are some of the things you'll need. And here are the different providers. Let's look at them. All right. So as you can see, Tax Act is an online platform that will allow you to file your W-2 at no cost if you make less than 73. And here are some other stipulations. There are a few others. The list really just goes on and on. Just use this little arrow here to scroll through the different options. Okay, but there are a number of platforms that will allow you to file your taxes for free. So please stop giving these people your hard-earned money, especially if you make less than $73,000. You can use every bit of that, so don't give it away. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get started with filing for free with TurboTax. And here is their homepage. And as you can see, I've already signed in to this site before, so it saved my credentials. But if you're new to the platform, what you'll want to do is go to the main page, and towards the bottom, you'll see in the bottom corner here, create an account. Just click on that link and it will walk you through the steps to create your own profile. But since I already have one, I'm going to just sign in. And let me just type in my password really quickly. All right. So here we are. We are on the landing page. Welcome to TurboTax. Now here's what to expect. Let's just go ahead and get started. All right. So what they're going to want to know is a few things about your situation. To select, all that applies. But in our situation, we just have a standard W-2. I have a job and I received a W-2 in the mail. I have children and dependents. So I just have a job. I have children and dependents. I want to get my child tax credit. I want to get my earned income credit. So I'm going to select this and this. And then you move on. How comfortable do you feel doing your own taxes? They're just trying to see how much help you'll need. I'm comfortable doing it on my own. So you want to go ahead and select that. What they're going to do if you select any of these others, they're going to try to upsell you, meaning they're going to try to get you to pay to have someone walk you through the steps. And you don't want to do that. Once again, keep all your money. Okay. You worked hard for it. So just tell them I'm comfortable doing it on my own. Continue. And it says here, based on your answers, this is the right option for you. So let's file for $0. This is what we want. So do you guys see how we got to this point? Don't select anything unnecessary like the rent. Let's go back so you can take a look. Because what a lot of people do is they end up selecting like all of these other options, like itemizing your taxes and all of this. And if you do that, what that's going to do is that's going to create more forms, which means more money. See, the more specialized your situation is, the more they're going to charge you because you'll require more tax forms. But if you just have a standard W-2, just this one and your dependents is all you need, and you can file your taxes for free. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue, and we want to file for $0. Okay, and here we go, off to the races. Let's let this thing load. Now tell us about any changes to your income in 2022. Okay, did you receive payment from the state of Florida Department of Economic Opportunity? No, I didn't file for unemployment, so I would not have a 1099. So I just select no. The only thing you have to concern yourself about when filing your taxes on your own is just reading through all of the questions. That's it. Just read the questions. If it applies, select yes. If it doesn't apply, select no. So I didn't file for unemployment, so I selected no. And it says here, and then here's another little cool thing about TurboTax. It tells you, hey, I'm not sure. What is a 1099? I'm not sure what that is. Just click on that, and what they'll do is they'll give you an explanation as to what that is. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, no, I don't know anything about it. I didn't file for unemployment, so this doesn't apply. How about personal life changes? Were there any? New dependent or child? If none of these apply, don't click it, just move on. Continue. What about financial changes? Did you do any of these things? If not, you received unemployment, blah, 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 any of this, none of these apply, just click none of these apply. Last one, did any of these happen? Did you get a 1099 for maybe you work for Uber? I think these are for the independent contractors. If this doesn't apply, don't worry about it. If you didn't start a business, don't worry about it. If none of the receive Social Security, if this is something you received, then you want to definitely let them know. If not, don't worry about it. Just move on. Now, I have to warn you, please be as honest as possible. Because the last thing you want is Uncle Sam knocking on your door because you didn't answer some of these things correctly or honestly. Okay. If you sold or traded cryptocurrency, they're going to find out. So just be honest about it and let them know. If not, just move on. None of these apply. All right. Limits offers you receive to only what you need. Now, if you choose to sign this consent form, we will simplify your offers to what fits your needs, which means you and whatever Apple see fewer offers overall. Consent for use of tax return information. Let's see here. I guess this is like they're trying to let you know about some sort of consent to share data, share information, but I'm not going to worry about this. We value your privacy. Now we just need you to sign and date this form below. Please enter your name as it appears on your tax return to accept or decline this consent. Name. So let me just put my name here and today's date. Alrighty. And then I'm going to make sure I put decline. I don't want it. I don't want you guys soliciting anything to me. All right. I'm just trying to file my taxes. I don't need to be sold anything. So it says finish your taxes fast without compromising accuracy. Goal time, 45 minutes. Step-by-step help to keep you moving. So here's another thing. Okay, so here's what we want to do. Let's go ahead and start this. All right, let's finish your personal information. Just a few key things to go over before we review it all. All right, let's go. So they're going to collect your personal data now. All right, and don't worry about this race mode. As a matter of fact, let's just not worry about this. Turn that off because we're not in a rush to do this. Take your time. Don't feel rushed to do this. Okay. All right. So here's my personal data. So just fill this out. and answer the questions as honest as possible and hit continue. All right, let's confirm your marital status. Are you single, married, divorced, legally separated, widowed? And I'm going to hit continue. All right, so when you hit next, you'll be taken to this page, your children and others you support. So it's going to list all of your dependents. If you forgot to list someone, just click on add another dependent. And if I click on that, you'll see. And it's going to ask me here, who do you support? If you support more than one person, we'll help you enter them one at a time. So if you have another child you would like to add, just click on this option. And who can count as my child? This is just going to explain to you, because sometimes some people, they feel they try to claim adults as dependents. And so TurboTax is good at letting you know whether or not it's allowable with the IRS. So if you just want to add your child, you want to click on this option and hit continue. And then they're going to ask you to enter the child's information. So you want to make sure you have your child's date of birth, social, and all of that good stuff. But since I don't have any of this, I'm going to hit back. I'm going to hit back. All right. And I'm going to delete this entry. Notice how there's an entry here. If you do not delete this, what's going to happen is it's going to stop you from filing your return, because it's going to say, hey, there's an error because you didn't complete something within the forms. So in order for me not to get prompted about that, I'm going to click on this garbage can here to delete this entry. Are you sure you want to delete this dependent? Yes, because I don't have anyone else that I'd like to claim as a dependent. So here we have just the one child. Now we're going to click on continue to move forward. Did you make money in another state? No. So once again, this is just reading. And if it applies, you want to go ahead and select the appropriate option. If it doesn't, just move on. So in this case, this doesn't apply. No, I didn't make money in another state, meaning I didn't win any money. I didn't sell a home. I didn't inherit a business. I didn't live in one state and work in another. Okay, so I'm just clicking here, no, and now continue. Did you pay more than half the cost to keep up your home in 2022? So if you own a home or if you rent, it says upkeep includes rent, mortgage interest, repairs, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I paid more than half the cost. So that means that if you are the person in charge of making sure everything gets paid in your home, then you want to select this option and then move on. All right, so your filing status, and remember, all of those questions was geared to determine what your filing status is. And in this case, I'm considered head of household based on the entries I entered on the previous pages. All right, so now it's just telling me, hey, you're head of household. That means you qualify. It says you qualify because you weren't married as of December 31st and you have a dependent. Okay, so let's continue. All right, here's my personal data. Let's just go through that really briefly. That's what you want to do to make sure everything is correct. And so far, so good. So I'm hitting continue. Now, here's what you want to look out for. Here in this option, they're going to try to sell you on the different levels of, I guess, TurboTax offerings that they have. So if you have TurboTax, with TurboTax Deluxe, you can itemize your deductions. We've already discussed this doesn't apply if you have a standard W-2. And then this one here, if you want help with your taxes, they want you to select this. But keep in mind, getting help means you got to pay. We don't want to pay, okay? We don't want to pay. So we're not going to select this, okay? But what we want, TurboTax Free Edition for simple tax returns, because that's what we have. We have a simple W-2, okay? A job, a W-2, all right? Even if you have two W-2s, it's still just a simple tax return, okay? So let's go ahead and make sure. I'm going to continue in free edition without additional benefits. That's what I want. I'm going to click that. All right, let's talk about your income next. So now they want to know, this is where I start adding my W-2 information. All right, so now once you enter your employer ID number as it's listed on your W-2, feel free to move on to the next page by clicking on continue. And now we're going to help TurboTax finish importing the remaining of the data that the employer sent over to the IRS by typing in the information that's first in box D. So you want to go to your W-2. Let's look at Forbes example here. And as you can see here, A, B, C, here's box D. So you want to type in whatever number you see, or alphanumeric number, meaning numbers and letters, whatever you see in this box D, that's what you want to type into TurboTax. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to be very careful because if this is off by just even one digit, that can create a problem with the import. Let's go. Once you're done with that, hit continue. And as you can see here, if you want to type in the information on your own, like all of the information that's on the W-2, you can do that. If you want them to just import the data, just hit continue. So now TurboTax is pulling the details. Now move on by clicking looks good. Now it says here, you're on track to get your biggest refund, and here is my refund so far. Now this is before your credits and your deductions, so don't worry about this number right now. Let's just move forward by hitting continue. So now here is my W, and if you have more than one W-2, meaning you work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever the case may be, and you have 3 W-2s, what you want to do is just click on this option to add another W-2. If you just have the one, just hit continue to move on. Okay. All right. So now they're going to tally up my income. Let's see here. If you do, for instance, in this situation, they have something about unemployment here. What I want to do is I want to look into this entry to make sure it still applies. Because if I leave this as is without starting it, what's going to end up happening is when this TurboTax runs its check to make sure everything is good, it's going to notice that this entry was left incomplete, and it's going to actually go back to review it before it allows you to file your return electronically. So let's just go ahead and do that for the sake of time. All right. And it says here, did you receive unemployment or paid family leave? No, I didn't. So I'm going to click on that. If I did, I would just click on this. Yes, I did. Okay. Were you required to repay unemployment benefits? This doesn't apply. So I'm going to click no. All right. If you received the 1099-G, we'll ask about that later, but it doesn't apply. So I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to hit continue. There's nothing left for me to do here. So I'm going to put done with income. I've already reported all of my income. Now it's going to move me on to the next thing. Did you take a disaster distribution at any time between this time frame? No, I didn't. So I'm going to click on that and hit continue. Did you have a financial stake in a digital asset? No, I didn't. I tell you, if you just have a standard W-2, you have nothing really else going on. This is quite simple. Just click on what does and doesn't apply and move on. All right, just checking in. How are you doing so far? I'm just going to put, yeah, I'm doing fine. And then hit continue. TurboTax has a way of just making sure that everything is good, especially if they see you're spending a lot of time on one given thing. They want to make sure you're okay and you don't have questions. And they also want to sell you on assistant. And now it looks like here they want me to just easy to use. I'll just put that and hit continue so this can go. All right. And I'm going to actually, let me close that. All right. So it's time to, so that was just one of their little surveys. You know, the little X at the top was hidden. But just be on the lookout for that. If you see any pop-ups like that, just look for the X to close it out. But this is what the main form looks like. Time to find all those tax breaks. So now here's where we go into the child tax credit. Save time and still get your biggest deduction. It said it looks like taking the standard deduction of $19,000 will be better than itemizing your deductions, right? Because unless you have more $20,000 or something like that of itemized things that you want to receive credit for, this is your best option. You want to go with this because you're going to get the most bang for your buck just taking standard rather than itemizing any deductions. Okay, so let's just go with standard and move forward. All right, for 2022, did you pay any car registration fees? Let's see here. In this case, I am going to put yes. Did you own a home? I'm going to put no. Because if you select any of these items, what's going to happen is, let's look at learn more for registration fees. Why are they asking me about that? It says among the costs of owning a car is paying an annual registration fee. A car registration fee may be a different name. Okay. All right. Registration fees don't have any effect if you use the standard deduction. So if you're using the standard deduction, you don't want to indicate that you paid registration fees, only because they're going to ask you to itemize it. And once again, standard deduction is what's best for us because we don't have, $20,000 worth of itemized things that we want to receive credit for. So just go ahead. And for me, I am going to put, did you pay any car registration fees? No, because it's pointless. Did you own a home? If you did and you want to itemize whatever expenses you have for that, just hit yes. If not, no. Okay, how much did you donate to charity? You're not itemizing anything, so once again, just put $0. About how much did you spend on medical expenses? And once again, this is another question where you can itemize and receive credit for those things. But since we're not itemizing, we're using standard deduction. That's what those sets of questions were designed to do. Determine whether or not standard deduction is the best fit for you. Okay? All right, so if you don't want to itemize, just go ahead and hit OK. Sounds good, because standard deduction is the one that we've already chosen. If you wanted to itemize, then you would click on this. Okay. All right. Let's find other tax breaks. So now they're looking for more tax. Did you make any estimated tax payments? No, I didn't pay any taxes in advance. So I'm going to hit no. Do you have college or university expenses? Once again, we're not. Unless you have any of these things, you want to hit no. Did you make payments on a student loan? I'm going to put no. Do you have a health savings account? If you don't, just hit no. If you do, you want to list that. Do you have medical expenses? No. Do you need to report your health insurance premium? No, I don't. Okay. Answer yes if you had an Affordable Care Act plan in 2022 or received Form 1095A. So if you have a 1095A, you want to select this option. It's very important that you read through each and every single one of these questions. I know it is tedious and time consuming, but it will pay off in the long run. Okay, so let's move on because I don't have one. All right, so let's get started with our dependent care credit. Okay, let's look at that. Did you pay for child and dependent care? Now, if you paid for any of those things, you want to go ahead and hit yes. If not, no. So I'm going to put no because I didn't. All right. Let's look at the earned income credit. Review that. Let's see. They're going to make sure they're going to ask you a few questions just to determine if you're eligible for this credit. Okay. Let's hit continue. All right. Did you live in the U.S. for more than 6 months in 2022? Yes, I did. Let's check for uncommon situations. These don't apply to most taxpayers, but we still have to ask. I was married to a non-resident alien. If any of these apply, click on the box to check it off as indicating that it applies. If it doesn't, just hit none of these apply. So did you get an IRS notice? Nope. I got a notice from our IRS for this? Nope. No, I can be claimed as a qualifying child by someone else? Nope. So I'm going to put none of these apply. and hit continue. All right, congrats, you get a tax break. So I've earned the income credit. So let's go ahead and hit done for that. All right, and now let's look at this one. Notice this one says start, meaning we have to go ahead. Now we have moving expenses. If we want to still go into this option, anytime you see a start, you want to go ahead and click start to go through the questions. Okay, that way you don't run into an error at the end of the line. All right, did you have any work-related moving expenses? No, because I told them that I moved earlier, remember? So that's why they're asking me this. All right, so I see nothing here that says start, so that means I can move forward. Done with tax breaks. Do you want to enter your sales tax information? No, I don't, because we're not itemizing anything once again. So let's hit continue. All right, great. We're all done with tax breaks. So let's move on to the next thing. All right, let's do a quick check for uncommon situations. So let's keep going. Do any of these uncommon tax situations apply to you? Did you hire a live-in nanny? Nope. Do you want to apply your refund to next year's return? No, I do not. I want my money. Do you want to designate $3? No, I do not want to donate to the presidential campaign fund. Did you experience identity theft? No, I did not. Thank the Most High. Yeah. And now let's move on. That's all we need. Let's keep going to wrap it up. All right. Let's keep going. So now let's see. They're checking everything to make sure. Remember, I told you that if you see anything that says edit so that you can answer the questions. Because at this stage, if there was anything that was left answered, then you would run into an error at this point. But since, it says here's what our check found. One detail for your review. So let's just go ahead and hit continue so I can look at that. So it says here, child and other dependent tax credits. Let's review that. All right, let's check for child and other dependent credits. Let's hit continue. Do you have any of these uncommon situations? I got a notice from the IRS saying that form, okay, no, I didn't. I don't want to claim the additional, I do want to claim that. Okay, so since none of those uncommon situations apply to me, I'm just going to select none of these apply and continue. All right, congrats, you get a tax break, you get your earned income credit. All right, let's complete that. All right, we got the tax breaks covered. So now, I want to point out also that if you look to the left, this menu shows you where you are in the process. Okay, so right now we know we're working on the 22 taxes. We've already completed the My Info section. And now we're in the federal return. We've already entered our wages and income. We've already looked at deductions and credits. And other tax situations that's where we are currently. So let's just go ahead and hit done with tax breaks. So if you ever, get curious or lost, just look to this menu on the left to determine where you are in the process. All right, so great. We're all done with tax breaks. And let's go ahead and hit continue. Now we're in other tax situations. We're almost there. Uncommon tax situations. Here are some other situations that generally do not apply, which is why they have this section labeled uncommon, right? Because it really doesn't apply to most people. So just briefly read through this. And if it applies to you, trust me, you will know. Okay, because you would have dealt with this in the past, especially if you're, if this isn't your first time at the rodeo. If this isn't your first time filing a tax return, you would know what applies in general and what doesn't apply. So just go through this and see if any of these apply. If not, just go ahead and move forward. If it does, click on show more for whatever section you're interested in, and then click on the start to start answering questions for that section and or entering data. You understand what I'm saying? If it doesn't, just leave everything alone and keep going. All right, so now you see here, we're still under federal review. And now they're saying here that they're going to go ahead and check the federal return now to make sure everything is accurate. So we click on check my info. All right. So it says your federal return is in great shape. So let's just go ahead and keep going. All right. It lets you know what your refund is so far. All right. So now they're going to move on. And if you scroll down, use your little bar here to scroll down to see where you are now. It says here we're in the state section. We're preparing to complete the state return. So here, next up, state taxes. This part's quicker. So let's go ahead and the reason why it's quicker is because they import everything from the federal onto the state. So there's less data you have to enter. Okay. So but it's asking me more questions to see if any of these situations apply. And they're trying to determine whether or not I'll be able to receive more of a credit or less of a credit, that sort of thing. That's the purpose of these questions, by the way. So just take your time with them. Member of American Indian tribe? Nope, 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 nope. Received a 1099 for interest or dividends earned from first-time homebuyer savings account? No, not yet. Okay, so none of these apply. So here's your breakdown. So it tells you here at the end, your total state refund. And if everything looks good, then just hit continue. Would you like to contribute $5? No. What the TurboTax is doing is checking for errors. So it says, congratulations, everything looks good, so we can continue. All right, so we're done with the state. So let's get your return ready to file. Yay! So let's check again. What they're doing is just checking everything, the federal and the state again, as I mentioned earlier. All right, so here are the final numbers again. Continue. All right, way to go. You've done a great job. Now, don't get caught up on this section. Make sure you pay attention because once again, we're trying to get this filed for free 99, meaning no cost, at no cost. So therefore, we're not going to use the TurboTax Plus option. It's already pre-selected, I believe. So what you want to do, no, it's not pre-selected. You would have to click on that. But since we don't want to have to pay $29, let's just go ahead and click on this one, which is connected to the free edition for simple tax returns, which applies to our situation. So let's go ahead and click on that now for this one. All right, so now we're getting ready to file. Notice the status changed on the left. So they want us to review our order, less money. Okay, so $0. So the total cost, free. If you want to add on, you can, but that defeats the purpose, right? We're not trying to add. Continue if we agree to the free cost, which we do. And now they're going to review your information, billing information, but this doesn't apply. You're not going to be billed for anything. We just saw that on the previous page. Now we can place our order. All right. All right, so your order is complete. All right. So we're using the TurboTax Free Edition, which means that we're not paying anything to file our taxes for both state and federal. This is confirmation of that. If you'd like, you can print this for your records, okay? And then continue. All right, so now we're going to go to step 2, your refund info. They want to know, we're going to ask us questions about how we would like to receive our refund. So it says, get your refund early plus boost your credit score. So they're trying to sell us again. Do I want to get my refund early? I'm pretty sure it's going to cost money, but I don't need it to. Let's look at some other refund options. How would you like to receive your federal and state refunds? Recommended. New, direct deposit with Credit Karma money spend account. We don't want that. That's going to cost you money, guys. Direct deposit is the way to go. You just enter your account details. It says deposits into an existing bank account usually arrives within 21 days for 9 out of 10 customers. So in 21 days, you'll have the money directly deposited into your account. This is the option to go. It's free. You don't have to worry about all of this extra stuff, which equates to additional expenses, which is what we do not want. Okay, so direct deposit, continue. All right, your refund is now set up for direct deposit. Yay, that's what we want. Continue. All right, and let's see here. Step 3, get ready to save and file your return. This is the last step. Yay, we're almost there, guys. So select Start to get started with the submission of our return, and let's get ready to e-file. So we're e-filing this thing. If you want to file by mail, here's where you would just click this option. But if you want to e-file, which is the way to go, you just click on this option. Okay, and click continue to move forward. And we are actually done. Here's just a few disclosures. You just select this transmit my return now option. Once you click that, your return will be sent to the IRS electronically. And that's all there is to it, folks.